Welcome to Future Neighbor's Kitchen. Recently it was Daniel's birthday and I made him japchae. I actually followed a recipe from 우리의 식탁 and it turned out beautifully. So I thought, why not share this recipe with you guys?
It turned out beautifully and it was absolutely delicious. We matching words. But when I had it, I was like, Katie, this is like one of the best japchaes that you've ever made. And so Katie's like cooking is getting progressively better, and I thought this recipe we had to share because there's a lot of other home cooks out there who you should know how to make japchae. I'm sorry, you're the main today. I'm talking too much. Let me fall to the background.
You're turning darker and darker somehow. So we're gonna need 200 grams of 당면. This is 당면. This is Korean glass noodles. I'm gonna use 200 grams. This is around 100 grams, and I'm gonna need 2 of these. Get in the cold water and let it stay for about 30 minutes. Second portion, and then just let it all evenly soak. Then we're going to prep all the ingredients. You need about half a carrot, but this is kind of a small carrot, so I'm going to use about 2/3 of this.
In Korean, julienne, how we say it, is 채썰어. This is 채썰어.
Then put it all to one side. 3 shiitake mushrooms, or in Korean, 표고버섯. Twist off the ends. The great thing about japchae is like it doesn't matter if you don't have all the ingredients. You can still make it. Next we have wood ear mushrooms.
Oh, these are my favorite mushrooms. Sorry to interject.
Yes, Daniel's favorite. But if you can find the fresh ones in the market, get it. Otherwise, you can also find the dried ones. If you use the dry ones, you have to soak it in the water for a while before you use it. We're gonna use around roughly 9 or 10 wood ear mushrooms. So you see these end parts? We're gonna trim this off because it's a little bit hard and it doesn't give a nice texture.
Yeah, cut them into fourths.
Yeah, some are really big, so we're just going to use a flat dish like this so that it's easier to stir fry them later.
Same with the carrots.
And then next, got the onions. Cut it in half first. So making japchae is easy. It just requires some prep work. If you want to make it fresh for the birthday breakfast meal, you gotta wake up a little bit early. Now we're gonna prep the spinach. So we're gonna use 2 large handfuls of spinach. Make sure they're washed. Daniel already washed this for me. Just grab 2 large handfuls like this. We're gonna trim off the edge like this. What I like to do is, when they're a big piece like this, I like to cut it in half or just split them into smaller pieces so that it's just easier to eat later on. So I'm reading a book by Anthony Bourdain called Kitchen Confidential. Oh, it's really funny, by the way, and I'm kind of insightful about like how the restaurant business is run and kind of the behind the scenes. Okay, so that's it for the vegetables. Now we're going to move on to pork. Yes, you can use beef or pork. We're gonna use pork. These are shredded pork. We're gonna use 100 grams of these and just season them a little bit.
So at the Korean market, they actually sell japchae용. That means pork.
japchae용 meat.
Yeah, they're thinly sliced like this and perfect size for japchae. Yeah, if you're at the Korean market, just pick up some japchae용 beef or pork.
So 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of 참기름, sesame oil.
And in Korea, we're always using toasted sesame oil. So
Okay, sugar, 설탕, okay? 1 teaspoon of sugar in. Daniel already prepped minced garlic for us. So 1 teaspoon of minced garlic in. And then a few shakes of black pepper. I'm just going to go with my hand. Mix them well and evenly. 벌써 냄새 너무 좋아. And now we're going to blanch our spinach. We're gonna add some salt into the water. Then wait till it comes to a boil. From now on, it's all about speed. So spinach in, out, 당면 in, out, stir fry in, out, and then mixing together, okay?
yeah.
So this is only gonna be in for 10 seconds. So I'm going to count to 10 seconds. 시작! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dang! Wash it with cold water and then squeeze it. You can squeeze it here. 꼭 짜줘야 돼, 꼭. 이것이 팁, 완전 팁. And then you want to detangle them. And then we're gonna season this with some sesame oil and salt. 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. Just going to do 2. If you're curious, you can also taste them at this point. So now we're gonna just soften up these vegetables and we're gonna stir fry each of them separately. So put them in line. So onions, followed by carrots, followed by mushrooms, followed by meat. Put it on a medium-low heat. Add a little bit of oil. So once this pan is hot, we're gonna start off with onions. We just want them to get translucent. We don't want to get any coloring on them. Just enough so that they soften up. And add some pinches of salt. Okay, I think this is good. You see how translucent it is? That means it's good to go. And then now, next is gonna be the carrots in. Splash of more oil. And add some pinches of salt. Alright, I like where it's at. I think we are good to go. Sous chef, more oil please.
Yes, ma'am.
Then both mushrooms in. Then a little bit of salt as well. Sometimes this woodier mushroom may pop because there's some moisture in there. But don't worry. Okay, that's very normal. So don't worry. Okay, so we're almost... Ah! This looks good. Okay, I survived. Okay, next is the meat. Put them in. Chef, a little bit of oil, please.
Yes.
There is a section in the Anthony Bourdain's book where he calls the vegetarians the enemy. Yeah, so if you're a vegetarian, you can use this marinade for the mushrooms. Perfect. Perfect. And then just one final step is these noodles, 당면. We're gonna boil them. And then one tip I also learned from the Anthony Bourdain book is that he was like, never wash the frying pan. So just wipe them off with like the kitchen towel when you're done with cooking. Okay, wait for this to boil. And we're gonna boil it for 3 minutes. Okay, when the water comes to a boil, we're gonna add these 당면s. 오빠!
The film cut off, but basically we put the 당면 in when the water was boiling, and then we set the timer for 3 minutes. Now, Katie, you can stop giving me the death stare.
3 minutes is up, and we're going to drain this water. Alright guys, we're gonna cool it off. Drain off the excess water. We're going to basically season our 당면, okay? 3.5 tablespoons of soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of sesame oil, and sugar, 1.5 tablespoons, and 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, and a few cracks of black pepper. We're gonna put it on a medium-low. Mix it first, and when the sauce starts coming to a boil, we're going to add the 당면 in and stir fry them for 2 minutes in medium-low heat. Coming to a boil, we're going to add the 당면 in, them well in a medium-low heat for 2 minutes. 맛있어져라, 맛있어져라. We want all these good flavors to be absorbed into the noodles. Alright, and put these noodles into a mixing bowl. So now we're going to dump all the vegetables in. 그냥 dump it. And don't forget the spinach. Be careful because the noodles are so hot. Tools.
This already smells wonderful.
Yeah, mix it up. I'm sorry guys, we have to just watch this. Why don't you guys just make this too? Best to mix it with your hands, but it's a bit too hot, so at the beginning I just like to use chopsticks and a spoon. And then we're going to add a dash of more sesame oil if needed. So I'm going to give it a taste. Okay, 맛 한번 볼게요. Just the noodles. Just a little bit, just like that. 난 손으로 안 해도 될 것 같은데 이미 잘 믹싱이 돼서.
야, 맛있게 보인다.
Oh, it's like the japchae tastes the best when it's hot.
There it is, y'all. Alright, Katie has entered mukbang already. No outro, just on the floor, just eating.
그냥 turn on our 먹방 camera. 여러분, 그거 아시죠? 이거는 살도 안 찐다는 거. Right?
try it out at home.
So good. This is 4% portion.
됐다. 고생
But-
수고했어.